been a long time, but we're finally back. The DoYourPart.org Truck Series heads to the high banks of Daytona International Speedway. It's the Series' 6th trip to Daytona Beach, Florida, and tonight, with the experience in the field, this race will be one circled in the history books forever. This is the great equalizer. This is where rookies become legends. This is Daytona. Hello everybody and welcome to Daytona International Speedway tonight live here with the DoYourPart.org Truck Series on the Sim Racing Network. Andy Kessler, of course, always beside me. Ben Kilcrease and Cisco Scaramuza is down in the production truck getting the picture that you see to you. Here we go, Andy. We're finally back. It's been a while. It's been almost 3 months since our last broadcast, and we've all been itching at the bone, but we're finally back. We're all back online. We're set to go, and tonight is going to be big at Daytona.
Excuse me, I'm trying to get the cobwebs out of my throat, Ben. Yes, that's right. We are back, finally. I believe the last one we did was Talladega, I think. Charlotte? I don't know. I don't remember. It doesn't matter because we're here tonight. Daytona, 2 races left to go in the DoYourPart.org Truck Series. We've had a fantastic season so far this season. I believe you did the stat there. In the first 10 races, we've had 9 different winners. So can we get another different winner here tonight, Ben? Or will we see another guy get his second win of the season?
We'll have to wait and see. We'll get to that a little bit later on in the show. We saw it in the video. This race tonight could either put stuff in a better position heading into next week, or it could shake up a bunch of stuff in the points as far as positions go heading into next week at Michigan. And we're just going to have to wait and see what the points look like after tonight because, as you know, Andy, the big one could happen literally any moment of the race, and our championship contenders, the top 3, could be involved, and 4th, 5th, and 6th could go on to finish 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, you're absolutely right. And, you know, we've seen different strategies here in the past, especially this late in the season at a plate track where guys will hang out at the back, bide their time, wait for that caution to come out late in the race, then work their way up to the front. Or, like we saw last season at the end of the season, the final race at Talladega, which was a curveball. We were supposed to go to Homestead, but because of iRacing issues, we went to Talladega instead. And what did we see? We saw the champion, the person to go on to be the champion, run up front all night long, and basically he won the race and won the championship. So that was fantastic racing we saw at Talladega last time out. But it was, you know, hey, listen, different strategies, different people have different ideas, and we'll have to see what it's going to be. But I'll tell you right now, the safest place is probably going to be up front.
We'll have to wait and see and talk about that a little bit later. But earlier this evening, Andy, you and I got to take a trip around Daytona International Speedway. So now let's head away and head to this week's edition of Andy's World.
everybody, welcome to this week's edition of Andy's World. We're here live at Daytona International Speedway getting set for the second to last race of the DoYourPart.org Truck Series event for Noble Motorsport. I'm Andy Kessler, and tonight we're going to show you how to draft, how to tandem with one truck as we head down the back straightaway. You're that guy that's leading. You're going to want to hold that bottom line. Hold that line right on the yellow stripe and make sure you don't move. That guy behind you is putting all his trust into you. You can't wobble. You can't move. You got to be smooth on the steering. As we come off of turn number 4, that's going to be the tricky part. You start to get loose. You got to be able to hold that line. Now, another thing you're going to be seeing a lot of here tonight during this race is switching. These trucks get hot every 4 to 5 laps. So what you're going to see is as I enter turn number 1 here, you're going to see me head right to the high side. That's going to give your partner the room and the momentum to get on by. As he gets on by, you're going to want to get right down on that bumper. You cannot hesitate or waste any time. Now, as you're coming down, you cannot see a thing. Like I said, you are putting all your trust in that guy in front of you. Team communication and talking among your spotters and drivers is going to be key to not getting into that big one. Drafting is huge here at Daytona, especially in the trucks. You'll see it all night long. 2 truck tandems just taking away and breaking away from each other in the field. That, along with the green flag pit stops, which typically happen here at Daytona, you will see a lot of that. Getting on and off pit road is going to be another key to the race. With that, I'm Andy Kessler. I hope you like this week's edition of Andy's World.
I tell you what, Andy, you're getting better and better at those the Andy World segments. That was real good.
The only thing that people don't know, Ben, though, is how many takes it took.
And how many trucks we went through just to get the right one.
There you go.
Oh, boy. A lot of fun. Let's look at our race facts and our track facts here tonight. And a bunch of these are very interesting. You and I were talking about them earlier this week and even earlier today. Closest margin of victory. Now, this seems about right. 42 one-thousandths of a second. That's very close, and I'm pretty sure tonight we might get close to beating that with the field we have here this evening.
Oh, most definitely. And I think I can't quite remember the exact race, but I think it was like a 7 1,000ths or something was the closest Noble plate race. I forget which car and all that, but yeah, I remember doing it. But this one definitely ranked up in the top 5 for closest finishes ever at Noble.
Close finish is always a part of Daytona. Actually, another fact that I didn't add on there, the furthest margin of victory since the trucks have been here at Daytona was just under 0.3 of a second. So these guys really put on the close finishes. We've been here 5 times, and we've had 5 different winners. Kreiser, of course, winning the last race. Brian Terry, I think that was his first ever Noble win, if I'm not mistaken. Dylan Brockwell, Rodney Kramer, one of the veteran restrictor plate racers here at Noble, and a name we don't hear too often anymore, Tommy Lee, won the first race here at Daytona for the Truck Series at Noble.
That's some good company right there. It's just hard to believe we've only been here 5 times the amount of races and seasons that we've had at Noble, but I guess it's right. The stats don't lie.
That they don't. 2 cautions is the most we've ever had in a race here at Noble Motorsport in the Truck Series at Daytona. We've had 2 cautions, 3 races. March 18th back in 2000, or back earlier this year, November the 5th back in 2013, and June 18th back in 2013. 2 cautions, that seems very minimal for a 75-lap race this late in the season. A bunch of guys going for a bunch of stuff. I think we're going to break that record tonight here at Daytona.
Oh, absolutely. When you first mentioned that one to me, I was like, no, that's got to be wrong. That's way wrong. But no, that's That's a true fact, and you know what? That just goes to show the type of drivers we have in the truck season, or truck series, I should say, over the years.
Most lead changes, 30 back in May, earlier this is, and that's just at the line, 30 lead changes. There's a good possibility that we could beat that tonight as well, because in practice we've seen a bunch of passing, and also with the new build, the drafting is a little bit different than what it used to be.
Yeah, let's talk about the new build. I mean, I guess they didn't really change too much with the tires. Made them a little more grippier, I think, which will help some people at some other tracks. But as far as here, the drafting is definitely a little bit different. We'll see how it plays out tonight, if we're going to see large packs or if we're going to still see that two-truck tango, which typically takes form here at Daytona.
Well, we are on a new build subject. Pit road speed tonight at Daytona increased from 55 to 60. That's over on the track fact side of things. And also the pace speed is up from 70 to 80 here at Daytona. There's a bunch of other interesting stuff in the new build, and we're not going to get into that right now. Maybe later on in the race, if we get bored under a caution or something, we'll get into it. But right now, let's look at the track record, which is up for grabs tonight, set back almost a year ago by Trevor Smith, a 48.392.
Yeah, 48.392. Pretty fast lap there by Trevor Smith. Trevor Smith, of course, a former champion, won his rookie season. Right now, what the guys are running right now, they're only about a tenth off of that. So we'll see here as a second round of qualifying is going on. We'll see if anyone can break that here tonight.
Certainly be interesting. And also another interesting race fact. In the last race here at Daytona, Zach Kreiser took the lead on the final lap. He won the race and only led one lap. That's how you do it. That's how you play it here at Daytona.
Most important one.
Yep. That's how I was going to do it. I'd certainly do it. That way he was third, heading to the white flag, cross the white flag at the stripe third, and come back around and won the race. Daytona International Speedway opened back in 1959. Can seat 147,000 people. As of now in 2016, that'll be down to 101,000. 2.5 miles, the length around this huge super speedway. The banking, this is where it gets interesting now, is anywhere between 2 to 31 degrees. That's a very big difference. 31 degrees in the turns, 18 degrees in the tri-oval. Now the tri-oval, Andy, one of the tightest spots on this speedway, one of the fastest spots on the speedway, doesn't have near as much banking as the turns, and that could be where we see some of our trouble tonight.
Yeah, typically been a lot of the trouble tri-oval. That's a tricky spot, and definitely the transition off of the corners and the transition into the corners. That's typically where the trucks will get a little squirrely, get a little bit loose. Guys you'll see bouncing around, almost like they're changing lanes, but they're really not. So it's going to be something to keep an eye on. But other than that, man, this Daytona, it's all about speed here.
And it is, and added it down there. There's a big difference between Daytona and Talladega, and that's the finish line. The finish line dead even in the center of the straightaway here. You don't have as much room to make your decision and to make your move, so you got to kind of line it up earlier in the lap as opposed to coming off turn 4. And also Daytona a little bit more tighter than Talladega, which is going to add for some interesting racing here this evening. Guys planning on about 30 laps as far as the pit strategy goes. 75 laps tonight here at Daytona. That's 187.5 miles. A very long race, plenty of time for plenty of drivers to make their moves as far as going through the win and whatnot. Let's talk about what we think the race is going to be like and make our predictions. Coming into a race like this, you never know what to expect. We've been to multiple tracks, multiple races, and thought they were going to go one way, but went the complete other. I think tonight at Daytona, we're going to have some good pack racing, to begin with, some 2, possibly 3 wide. And then I think we'll have a big crash somewhere around lap 15. We'll go single file maybe, or maybe just a tandem, a little bit easy racing between the caution, and probably say about lap 50 or so. And I think things are going to start picking up once we get that final pit stop out of the way.
Yeah, Ben, listen, we could have a caution on lap 1. Anything can happen here. Typically, though, what happens at these plate tracks, so once that first caution comes out, and that's the reason that the most here is 2 for the cautions, is that first caution usually scares people. It makes them realize, wow, this thing could, my night could end really quickly. So it usually tends to calm people down. But until you get that first caution, or until the field gets spread out, you really don't know what's going to happen here.
And you don't. But we will find out shortly. In just a matter of minutes, we're moments away from firing the engines and moments away from the green flag. But first, we head trackside for tonight's national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh,
Hey, Andy, you get my poker?
that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
Crank 'em up. Fired up. Hi, bud. Fired up. Fired up. Crank it up. Crank it up. Fired up. We have a good time today. Keep your eyes out up there, Dylan.
On behalf of iRacing.com, Motorsport Simulations, DoYourPart.org, and Noble Motorsports, welcome to Daytona International Speedway, 75 laps. The set distance here tonight for the DoYourPart.org Truck Series. Alongside Andy Kessler, I am Ben Kilcrease, Cisco Scarroza. Just getting the picture that you see to you. And we got a bunch of fancy new graphics tonight, those done by our good friend Mylan Lacey, who sometimes is down on pit road for us here at the Sim Racing Network. Long race, 75 laps, and we're just a few minutes away from getting the motors crunk. That's right, I said crunk. Here in Santiago Racing
Crunked
at
up.
Daytona. How you doing, Andy?
I'm doing good, and itching to get back in the saddle and get back to the broadcast. We've been out for a while, so looking forward to it. And what a better place. There isn't a better place, I don't think, that we can come back to and have a great race.
Yeah, I don't know if I told you, but earlier I found out that today was National Caps Locks Day. And, you know,
Jesus.
as I usually do, I wake up about 4 o'clock in the morning. I text you in all caps and say, hey, wake up. Are you excited? We're going to have a race today. And, you know, then I realized it was National Caps Locks Day. So, you know, it's just one of those things. Really excited tonight. We're finally back on the road. Finally back live. And I'm hearing we're going to have to turn the screen off for a second. So don't panic. We're just getting set up for the grid here tonight. And very interesting stuff up front. We'll get to that momentarily here as we get set to put the trucks on the grid. I do apologize for the black screen there. Drivers being briefed about the racing tonight in a short drivers meeting before the green flag. Let's look at our standings coming into tonight. Dave Camara is your points leader with a 343 point. He has 343 points. Excuse me.
Whoa, we don't have a season at all here.
Nick Orth is 6 points behind heading into tonight. Brock Hopkins is 15 points behind heading into this evening. Chris Scala, 32 points behind. And rounding out the top 5 is Zach Kreiser, who is 40 points out of the lead. Now, this is a big race for the points contenders because anything can and most likely will happen tonight.
Well, most definitely, Ben. 27 cars are here, so you end up getting an accident early. It could be a long night, especially if you're one of those guys at the top of the point board.
Most definitely. Let's go ahead and look at our starting lineup tonight. We got to do it quick. Got to do it in a hurry because we got some other stuff to take care of. Starting on the pole is our winner back at Talladega last season and a defending champion of this series, Sean Boundy, and the 24 to his outside. It's the guy who pushed him to the championship and to the win, Nick Orth, in the 27.
Starting third in the 39, it's going to be Ryan Libby, and to his outside, starting fourth in the 8, Chris Scala.
Daniel Eberhard, our winner back at Chicago Land. He starts inside of row number 3 in the 5th starting spot. Outside of him in the 6th starting spot, 07, that belongs to William Hartman.
Starting 7th in the number 7 is Julio Terzado, and starting to his outside in the 67, John Muschin.
Rolling off 9th, it's Brian Neff in the number 60. To his outside, it's the 44 of Brock Hopkins. He won at Atlanta earlier this year.
Points leader and previous winner at Vegas this season, David Camara in the 71. He's going to roll off 11th, and 12th will be his partner in crime, his pushing partner, as he said earlier, in the 48, Kevin Linden.
Peter Canali in the 52 rolls off 13th. Doug Blackman is in the 25, 14th.
Rolling off 15th in the 23 is Landon Loper, starting right to his outside, and 16th is the 58 of Stephen Pettit.
Stefan Brunel is in the 79, 17th starting position. Jason Cardwell is on the 40, 18th to his outside.
Starting 19th in the number 4 is Zachary Kreiser, and to his outside in the number 3 is Mylan Lacey.
Matthew Welsenbach is 21st in the 29. Tyler Hare is in the 9 in 22nd.
The 92 of Brian Terry will roll off 23rd, and Rick Donovan will start to his outside in the 24th spot.
Jared Como rolls off 25th, and Bryant Collins 26th in the 1 truck. Here we are, field rolling off. 1 lap until the green. Andy, let's look at your keys to the race.
Well, probably the biggest key, Ben, is a dancing partner. These guys, you'll be left high and dry if you cannot find somebody that you can work with and somebody you can trust. Even if you have trouble on a pit stop and you get separated, you better hope there's somebody out there willing to work with you. If not, it's going to be a long, long night riding by yourself here at Daytona. Second is communication. The communication between the drivers, letting each other know, because when, as you saw in Andy's world, if you're behind that truck in front of you, you can't see anything. And if you're 2 or 3 wide, you got to have all that trust in the guy you're pushing. So communication is going to be real key. And finally, you want to be there at the end. You got to have a mistake-free race, and that means on the track and on and off pit road. We've seen many races won and lost on pit road, Ben. So that's going to be a real big key to watch as we hit pit stops, especially green flag stops.
Thank you very much, Andy. What is next week going to look like for the championship race at Michigan International Speedway? We're 75 laps away from finding out as the pace car gets set to head on down to pit road. And oh my, ever since Mother Nature said F you, I haven't got to say it, but we stack them up 2 by 2, and we're racing at Daytona. Field double file up front. Bounty and Orth still side by side. Now do we see these guys try and drop in the line, get hooked up, or do we see Orth trying to go for the lead? They're still side by side, 4 rows deep.
That they are side by side off of turn number 2 and heading down the super stretch here at Daytona. Now Chris Scala almost looking like he was going to go 3 wide there. He's pushing Orth out in front of Bounty. Now he's going to drop in line to Bounty. Now those two are finally hooked up here as they head back into turn number 3.
Orth out front. Help from Bounty. Look at the 39 of Libby. He's slowing up the bottom lane. He's slowing up the bottom lane to help Scala get in line right in front of him. He'll do just that. Nick Orth, though, will lead lap number 1 here at Daytona.
Good to see Nick Orth running for that championship here. 6 points behind Dave Camara. Dave Camara right now running just outside the top 10. He started 10th. He's still trying to get hooked up with his partner, his teammate there in the 48 truck. Right now, as they're trying to get together, it doesn't look like he's going to have the room on the bottom side, as now we got a battle for the lead off of turn number 2.
That is William Hartman getting pushed to the lead by the 67 of John Mushton Jr. Can they clear him down the backstretch? They've got him cleared. Mushton didn't drop down. Now Hartman's got to make a decision. Does he pull down and stop the inside lane? He doesn't. And now Hartman, he had the lead, but it's not going to be official because Nick Orth looks like he's going to lead us at the line this time.
That's a powerful combination right there, hugging that bottom line like we talked about in the Indy's world earlier on this evening here. If you can stay on that bottom line, you can gate the pass, you can get the run on that top side, but if you cannot stay hooked up to that guy's bumper in front of you, it's going to be real tough to make that pass. It looked like those guys had the pass, but they weren't able to come down. It looked like Mushton got a little bit loose, but here they come, battling back hard now down the back straightaway. Here comes Hartman. He's looking for the lead again.
He's bringing Everhart and Terzado, 13 and 7 with him on the outside. 4 trucks on the outside. Teammates up there. Hartman a slight lead down in turn number 4. Can he snag it at the line, though, will be the question. Off of turn 4, they're still side by side for the lead. Who wants to lead this lap at Daytona the most?
It's going to be close at the line right now. Hartman's got a slight edge. Here comes Orth battling back. It's almost too close to tell.
2 1,000ths of a second. That's close.
Yeah, I would say so.
So now the truck, the top line, bigger as far as trucks in line than the bottom. Inside has 2 up front. Scala's a little bit further back. 4 trucks on the outside. And now we have some more trucks coming from the back. The 29 and looks like the 23. That's Welsenbach and Loper. They're working their way on the outside as Ryan Libby is just stacking up the inside.
Now, I'm not sure if Libby's having an issue or just can't get the push that he needs from the 60 of Brian Neff right now, but now the 29, Welsenbach now drops to the bottom. Terzado now going to drop to the bottom. He's going to leave the 13 out on the high side. They're 2 by 2. Now we're going 3 wide in the corner. 3 wide for the lead. Hartman's stuck on the outside. He's going to fall back if somebody can't get behind him. Now he's going to drop in front of Terzado. So, wow, close call right there for Hartman. He was able to get back in line. He's not going to lose too many positions, but now here comes Mushton Jr. with a little help from Eberhart. He's looking for the lead.
The pack is starting to form. The pack is starting to roar here at Daytona. And this is getting very sketchy up at the front. Mushton with help from the 13 and Daniel Eberhart. They clear Orth and Bounty. They're going to go to the lead. Here comes Hartman. He wants it as well. He leaves Terzado up on the outside by himself.
Well, that's not going to be good right there. Terzado's going to remember that one in the memory bank for later on. Hartman looks like he's trying to go up high there to let him catch up, but he's just too far back now. Terzado is now, it's the top 5 are separated. They're single file. Now the battle side by side is for 6th place.
Everybody's starting to get in a rhythm, starting to get where they want to be. Nick Orth in the 27, 6 points out of the lead heading into tonight. As they sit right now, he would have the lead heading to Michigan. I like what he's doing. This is what Sean Bounty did last time we were at a restrictor plate and he was going for a championship. He rode up front. I think that's what you're going to have to do tonight if you're Nick Orth, if you want to win this championship.
Absolutely. Dave Camara still a little bit back into the pack right now, running 16th right now. Everybody, though, this pack is really close back up, and they're side by side, 2 by 2, all the way back to about 18th place.
Hartman has come up and helped Terzado. Now Terzado and Hartman give them the lead on the back stretch. And a huge gap.
What a power move they just had. A great run off of turn number 2 and all the way down the back straightaway. Gave themselves about a 2-truck length lead now over that second pairing of Mushton Jr. and Eberhardt. Now they get breathing the truck out. Terzado ducking up, getting some air on the front nose right now. That's going to allow the pack to come back up. Here comes Libby now. Libby looks like he's pushing Loper. They want a piece of this action.
And they're going to get a piece of it. Loper on the outside.
Oh, that's Como.
Libby. Excuse me,
Jared Como.
Jared Como, yep.
Loper's just behind these guys on the outside. He's getting a little help from Burnell. Haven't spoken much about Stefan Burnell. Here he is in the top 10 now. He's trying to make some noise also.
Numbers are so hard to read from so far away, get a little mixed up. So Como is going to the lead off turn 4. He wants it bad. He's got help from Libby. Can he snag it at the line? It looks like he's going to be able to. Can these two guys clear Hartman? They might just do it. The outside line looks like the place to be tonight here at Daytona.
Well, they're definitely making me wrong here tonight, but you can definitely see the difference. So as that bottom line, Hartman and Terzado, there was separation between the two trucks, and that's exactly why they were able to get to the lead like that. But there now, Libby decides to go back to the outside. Now he's going to get pushed to the lead by Landon Loper, and we're seeing some musical chairs or musical trucks, if you want to say here, Ben.
Can't blame him. The outside is where the passes are being made. And down in turn 3, give Loper and Libby the lead. As we've had multiple lead changes and we're only working lap 9 here early at Daytona.
One guy going to suffer from that's a 79 truck until the Ada Scala can get up to him now. Stefan Burnell had pushed Loper all the way up to the front there, but then Loper attached onto Libby, and now they're looking with a 3-truck length lead right now as they head back into turn number 1.
Hopkins in the 44 up here battling these guys. As of now, he's ahead of Orth. So that'd be a big gain for Hopkins if we were to finish right now. Hopkins only 15 points out of the lead heading into tonight. Look at Loper and Libby. These guys are really able to get hooked up. They've been doing the best out of so far tonight as far as tandem. And just as I say that, they're being reeled in by the rest of the pack. Brunel and Scala up on the outside. Como, Hartman, and Terzado on the inside.
Scala really needs a lot of points here tonight to get back into this championship hunt, especially going into next week, the season finale at Michigan. He needs a lot of things to happen. He needs a win. He's been knocking on the door for a win all season long with 2 or 3 second-place finishes. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that as this goes on here tonight.
Look back further through the field to Dave Camara. And we're hearing on the radio, Andy, this is almost mind-blowing. We're going to have some guys heading down pit road. We said you can make about 30 laps, so why not go ahead and head on down, try and get one out of the way and pit in another 30 laps. It's Hopkins and Como to the pits.
Yep, coming to the pits this time. It's got to be a strategy ploy here. Get out of the traffic, get their pit stall, get their fuel. Probably no tires at all. You're probably just going to see fuel only here. Don't want to lose too much time. But like you said earlier, they decided they were going to pit together. They're going to come out together, and now this is what they need as a partner, so they can push and at least be the same speed as the leaders for when they have to come into pit.
Contact back straightaway. Mushton Jr. and Brunel go around through the infield. We stay green. They spin, Brunel comes to a stop. Everybody avoids.
Wow.
Brunel tries to get it back going. He's in the grass. And we're still green. What a very close call here at Daytona.
Doesn't look like too much damage on the 79 truck. Should be able to get that up. But again, he's going to be without a dancing partner now. Looks like he's going to stay out on the track. So, yeah, not too much damage on that truck. Just a little bit of contact, a little bit of spin. He's got some left rear damage, but that's about it.
So it looks like they were in the line. And Brunel made contact with motion. I didn't quite see what happened. I looked up, caught him spinning down the backstretch. We'll look into that and try and get confirmation on what actually happened. Ryan Libby, though, your leader here. William Hartman, Julio Terzado, and the 13 of Daniel Everhart making their run on the outside.
They're trying to make their run, getting a little side draft there off of turn number 2 here to come off of 2. Looking to try to get back to the lead now is Hartman. Hartman with some help from Terzado. They've been stuck like glue since the beginning of this race. Everhart just kind of been the third wheel on any of the pack draft that we've seen here. He's just kind of going. Now all three of them, it looks like they're going to have a chance to clear them. It looks like, wow, they just squeeze it in there.
That's,
3 of them clear.
That's
Libby.
Amazing. A 3-truck tango, I think we saw right there.
Something like, you can't call it a tandem.
And don't look now, but sitting back in 12th and 13th, I've already talked to these guys earlier in the race, Milan Psycho Lacey. This is his place where he likes to rumble, and he's starting to make his way through the field with his drafting partner, Zach Kreiser, who is defending winner of this race. Canali and Pettit back there, they're working around the outside of them as well.
A little shake up in the front here. It looks like Julio Terzado's lost his drafting partner. Now it looks like Hartman and Everhart are going to move to the high side to let him catch back up here. We're seeing a lot of team action going on here tonight, Ben. I like what I see, and a lot of guys not leaving each other hanging out to dry. That could have been real damaging for Julio Terzado there.
So things as of now not calm, but they're about as calm as they're going to be at a place like Daytona or Talladega. We don't have a bunch of 3-wide, don't have a bunch of aggressive moves. Everything's just kind of slow and steady, easy going, a little bobbing and weaving, but I never hurt anybody. We work lap 16.
It's all about survival, and to get to the end, you got to survive. So you see a lot of these guys doing it now, and you just see the pack. You kind of spread out there for a lap or so. Now you see them all coming back into each other. So the draft package definitely a little bit different than the last time we were here, Ben, but I like it.
Certainly is making for a good show here this evening. Ooh, Nick Orth tagged the apron down the front stretch, got a little loose. Boundy had to check up behind him, and he didn't lose that much time, but that's one thing you got to watch out for is tagging at the tri-oval there, because it will really make these trucks out of whack. And here comes the pack, all right back together again, and this is the biggest pack I think we've had so far this race.
Yeah, it is, and that Highline's really been fast here tonight. You see the 52 of Canali. He's getting a little bit of help. He's coming to the front. Here comes Camara. Camara, this is probably the highest he's been all night long. He's getting some help from Rick Donovan. Donovan, we haven't heard much about him all race long, and here he is now getting himself in the mix in the top 10.
And they're doing it on the outside. Terzado, 3 wide with Everhart on the outside. That could have been real big. He backs off, does the smart thing with those guys. There's a bunch of time on the outside. Look at Loper up front in the 23, sneaking out to get some air. As soon as they clear those guys on the outside, they sneak out, get some air. Now it looks like Everhart in the 13 going to drop back into line. Can he fit in there? Just barely. They have to get on the brakes behind him.
The air brakes. Oh, Eberhard having some issues now. He's up high. He's going to go 3 wide. He's got no help up there. He's going to fall back here now. Looks like he might be having some technical issues at the moment, so he's going to get out of the way here of everybody. But up front, still side by side for the lead.
Did you see Hartman and Terzado through the tri-oval? How close they pinched to Libby and Loper? My goodness. I don't think you could have fit a toothpick in between the two trucks. That's how close they were. Now Terzado falls off the 07 down the backstretch just a little bit. That allows Loper and Libby to pull ahead.
Starting to come up on some lap traffic. That's a 79 of Stefan Brunel, who we saw spin down on the bottom. He's going to drop down now. He's going to head to pit road, it looks like, get out of the way of the leaders. That's a good idea right now is Hartman. He's getting a push from Terzado. They're trying to get the lead. Loper giving the push to Libby. That's going to keep Libby out front. But, man, what a great driving by this front pack.
A great race as well. Certainly keeping it interesting. As we are already on lap 20, 55 laps to go this time by here at Daytona. Rosenbach on the inside. All alone down there on the bottom, which is possible now. A bunch of trucks head to pit road, including your leader, Ryan Libby, who might be speeding. He almost gets in the grass. That's going to be close. Neff is down as well.
Yeah, that was real close. He was coming in real hot there, trying not to slide the tires. Of course, green flag pit stops here. It's fuel only. You don't want to waste any time getting tires. You're going to lose a lot of time on the track. So this is going to be interesting to see if he got caught speeding or not.
I think before the update, had he tried that, I think he would have got caught with it 55. We do have the new pit speed at 60 miles per hour. Now, Terzado and Linden contact turn 3. They keep it straight. Here comes some more drivers to pit road.
A whole slew of them here today.
Everybody gets on good that time as well. So, everybody starting to pit here. Only a few left out. Trying to get everybody serviced. Terzado, Linden, Canali, Boundy, Orth, Lacey, Chrysler, Camara. The trucks that have not pit yet. We might see those guys come down this time. Handful of them decide to. Canali, Terzado, Orth, and Boundy.
It's been sketchy for these guys getting up
I'm telling you.
But they're managing to get it done. It's been great so far.
Mylan Lacey with help from Zach Chrysler. They're the only ones paired up. Mylan Lacey, you know he likes to hear his name on TV. He's going to be looking for the lead on the backstretch.
Looking for the lead, getting a huge push from Zach Chrysler right now as they head back into turn number 3. Looks like the 48-71 probably going to pit this time. Not this coming up. Now we're hearing word that the 4 and the 3 are pitting this time too. So here they come. Here comes Zach Chrysler. Here comes Mylan Lacey off of turn number 4. They duck down to pit road. Looks like Linden and Camara, they're going to stay out another lap.
So they make it down to pit road safely. It's Camara, Brunel, and Linden. Excuse me, Brunel is a couple laps down due to the incident earlier on the backstretch. So it's Linden, Camara. Everybody else has pitted, and everybody else back out onto the track safely and for the most part sound here at Daytona.
See the last pair coming off of turn number 3 and 4 here right now. Linden and Camara on their own agenda right now, about to complete lap number 24. They're going to duck down. Looks like here they come onto the apron. They're coming down pit road. The last of them, the last of the leaders heading that way.
So while Linden and Camara head down pit road, we'll wait for their service to get complete and update you on how they do right after this. You're watching the FedEx 400 bit defending Autism Speaks on the Sim Racing Network.
Did your little storm knock out the power? Well, excuse me for not noticing.
Hate to disappoint you, old man Winter. Better luck next time.
If the power goes out, your Generac standby generator goes on, automatically.
Down trees? Flash floods? Is that all you've got?
Stand up to the threat of outages with Generac, and never feel powerless.
Finally made it to Talladega.
Yeah, it's a beautiful weekend. What do you think Junior's chances are?
I think he's got a good chance.
You seem pretty sure of that.
Yep,
What you got there?
that's my Dale call.
I'll go with that.
Welcome back to the Sim Racing Network and Daytona International Speedway. I want to give a big shout out to one of our noble members, Doug Blackman, for the Dale Call commercial that he and one of his friends made. Very, very creative. And any other of you noble members out there want to make a commercial, just get your camera, go ahead and record it, edit it a little bit, give it to us, and we'll play it live on air. Right
And
here on the
please, no
Sim.
foul language.
Yeah, please, no foul language. We'll play it right here on the Sim Racing Network.
Although
Jared
we're
Como.
borderline with the Dale call.
Jared Como, Brock Hopkins, remember those guys, Andy? They pitted early on about lap 11, and they're now leading the race.
They are leading the late race, but not for long. If Welzenbeck can help it, he's getting a push from Brian Neff right now. A rookie and a veteran right here. Brian Neff over 200 starts here at Noble, and you got a rookie here to the Truck Series in Welzenbeck, and they're working good here together.
That they are. Welzenbach got some experience earlier at Talladega earlier in the season in the Nationwide Series. Got a win there where everybody crashed, and I guess he was the last one standing just about. Loper and Libby, they've made their way back up into the mix, and Bounty and Orth. We can certainly see who's going to be sticking together now in this first little pack. We've got all of what could be the top contenders in this race right here in one pack.
Yeah, you got a tandem actually moving on up here through here. Also Rick Donovan and Chris Scala. So these guys trying to make their way up into this top pack here, and as they made their way around the lap car of John Mushkin. But here they come. They're going to make their way into this pack. So we're going to have about 10 trucks here then racing, yeah, 10 trucks here racing for the lead.
We work lap 29. Here Daytona and Welzenbach now being pushed by Orth. Bounty falling back on the outside line. Welzenbach going to try and get the lead. Como trying to come up and get the side draft. Not going to do it. At the line, Welzenbach is going to lead us by about 28 thousandths of a second. And Orth pulls in line with him.
Yeah, he does pull in line. It looks like Walzenbeck lost his partner there. Neff dropped down to the bottom line. Not sure why, but in doing that, just the way the draft works, Orth just sucked right up to the back of him, and Bounty was left out to dry. He'll be able to drop back in line here behind Chris Scala at the end of this line here. But, yeah, unfortunately for now, it looks like Bounty and Orth have been separated.
So, Orth and Hopkins, they run second and third. And Dave Camara all the way back in the 18th position. As of right now, those guys would be ahead of Camara in the final standings.
Yep, as of right now, as they run right now, because Camara and Linden were the last ones to come down to pit road. But if you notice, Ben, when we were watching them, those last couple laps before they came down pit road, they weren't really pushing each other. They're kind of in separation there, and I think that's what's cost them right now. Here's Rick Donovan now going to make it 3 wide as he's going to split it, go underneath Orth on the high side, and Scala's going to follow him right through. They're going to try for the lead.
Mr. President going for the lead down in turn 4 with help from Chris Scala. Down the front stretch, he might just have it. Oh, he's going to have it. Rick Donovan, let him lead a lap here at Daytona.
Give him a lap lead. What a power move by those two guys, forcing the issue there. Maybe a little early, but hey, they got it done. They saw the room and just went for it, and they got
Caution.
it.
Trouble on the track. Mylan Lacey, one of the trucks involved. Zach Kreiser, William Hartman, and Dave Camara sneaks by. So that happened when Kreiser, trying to get hooked up with Lacey, went 3 wide and just came together. Hartman gets involved, Canali, but Kreiser and Lacey get the worst of it, and Dave Camara gonna have to wake up and realize he just dodged a bullet.
Hey, see your
a 200 mile an hour.
Yeah, you see your championship hopes just flashing right in front of you. Unbelievable. You know who's gonna make out like a bandit on this one is that 44 and the 28, man. They were about a couple laps here from going down to make a scheduled pit stop because they had pitted early on lap 11. So perfect timing for those two guys, and they find themselves up front, and now pit road going to be open this time.
Certainly is. So the strategy might have worked for them. Have to wait and see how everything sorts out. Of course, they'll have to take a little bit extra fuel than everybody else, but they'll pretty much be on the same strategy. We made it to lap 33 before our first caution. Remember, our record for the most cautions is 2 here at Daytona International Speedway. As of now, we only have 1.
Well, pit road's open. Who's going to come? Who's not going to not? Here they all come.
While they head down pit road, let's look at one of our facts here tonight. 3 out of the last 5 races, the caution has come out with less than 7 laps to go. So, 1 caution on lap 33. Do we see the other one with less than 7 to go? We'll have to wait and find out. Good race off pit road, and oh man, it got tight there for a moment.
Again, fuel only for everybody. Nobody taking tires. Got to keep that track position. Tires don't typically wear out that much here, at least enough to make an effect on your car, on your truck. So everybody choosing fuel only this time around again.
I think we could go the whole race without seeing someone take tires. I think it's possible. Actually, multiple people probably won't take tires this whole race. So Truzato stays out. We'll probably see him duck down pit road this time by Stefan Brunel. Is way back into 26th position, the only truck, one lap down. Truzato heads to the pits. Stayed out to lead the lap, although I don't think he might have actually got it.
Yeah, I don't think he did.
Oh well, worth a try.
Apparently.
So here we go. Back on air here at the Sim Racing Network at Daytona International Speedway for the DeerPark.org trucks. How about we dial up a driver, Andy?
Let's do it.
Let's see if we can't dial up the number 44 driver, Brock Hopkins, who has had one of the most interesting strategies all race so far that we've seen. Brock, Ben Kilcrease up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I do, man.
Certainly interesting strategy. You and Como coming down to pit road earlier. Is there any background to that strategy, and did it just go out the window with this last caution?
We just wanted to stay out of that pack there. We thought our guys up in the did some fuel calculating, and they figured it was a good stop to make. So that caution came out, and that kind of changes the way we do things. But we still got something up our sleeves, I think.
This sounds good. Now, Brock, earlier this season, you were able to get your first truck win. Pretty much out. You got a shot to win this championship, but tonight you got to make something happen. The best medicine for that is obviously your second win of the season. Have you and Como pretty much said that you guys are it for tonight? You're tandem and that's it?
Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. I think just go for it here. It's Daytona, so why not?
Why not? Thanks for talking with us, Brock. We'll let you get back to your job. Now we're going to talk to your crew chief, Mitch Rollo. Mitch, Ben Kilcrease up here in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Loud and clear.
Real quick, before we go back green, crew chiefing on the 44 tonight. Seen some interesting strategy out of him. Coming into tonight, he was 15 points out of the championship lead. What are you guys going to have to do to win the championship, or to at least have a good shot at a championship heading into next week at Michigan?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to have to, definitely get a top 3 finish here tonight at Daytona. We got a good plan here, strategize, so hopefully we can get that Boone Townsend Chevy Silverado into victory lane tonight.
Wait and see. Just under 40 laps to go in this race. We thank you for talking with us, Mitch.
Thanks, guys.
So, driver and crew chief, that's a new thing we're going to start doing here at the Sim Racing Network. I like it, Andy.
Absolutely. Got to give a little love to the crew chief. They're the ones making all the calls for these guys. All they got to do is drive the truck. So, I mean,
Yeah. Speaking of driver and crew, there's a little team heating up over on the Cup side of things. Ben Kilcrease, the driver, Andy Kessler, the crew chief and spotter. You ever heard of them?
Never. I don't even know who you're talking about.
I've got a feeling you're going to, and Cisco helps us out handing the water bottle to me. The pit road.
Oh, jeez. Here we go.
Pace car to pit road, just under 40 laps remaining. There's the green flag. We're back racing here at Daytona.
Good start by everybody. It looks like Hopkins left some room in front of him for Como. And Como was able to drop down in front of him. Now up front, we got a little weaving and bobbing and moving around and shaking around here. But right now the lead It's side by side off of turn number 2. You got Bounty on the outside. Not much of help. Oh, here comes Welsenbach. Welsenbach now to the high side. He jumps in front of Brian Neff. Now he's going to push Bounty to the lead.
Scala got out front and left Bounty out to dry. So now Bounty just steps out right to his outside with Welsenbach, and they go to the lead, and they're going to have a safe lead down the front stretch as now Scala and Donathan, they're going to get hooked up. Those two drafting partners have worked all the way to the back of the pack and now are contending for the lead here at Daytona.
Whoa, that was for the lead. Almost got wrecked right there. Rick Donovan almost moved up. He had to run. Now he falls back in line. Scala to the high side, though. Now Donovan looks like they're going to drop back down to the bottom, catch back in with that line, get the draft back going, get their speed up. Almost a close call there. But, yeah, we saw these two working really good from the back of the pack to the front. Took the lead right before that caution. So here they are again now looking to the high side. They're going to try to make a run for it as they head back into 3.
Down the back stretch they go. Look at Neff and Terry. These guys have been known to get hooked up at the super speedways. Front of the pack, they're 3 deep. And Camara in the 71 starting to work his way to the front of the pack. He's starting to realize it's probably safer out front than it is at the back or in the middle.
Especially when he almost was in the middle of that last caution there, as he's now on the high side. He's got Hartman behind him, but just in front of him, you got a couple veterans you just mentioned, so that's 3 of them there on the top side trying to make that top side work. All guys with over 100 starts here at Noble.
Brian Terry, a former winner at this racetrack. He knows what to do. As he slowly works his way up through the field with Brian Neff right on his front bumper. Now Scala and Donathan are side by side, and Neff's going to look to make it 3 wide. No, he pulls back into line. The pack is sacking up. They're going to have to get on the brakes at the back of the field. Look at this. This is going to get crazy to the tri-oval.
Wow, it's just accordion effect, just everybody getting back in. Now they're 3 wide. Looks like Camaro was trying to pinch back down there. Hartman's going to give him the room, though. Great job by all these guys, giving each other a little bit of room here, letting them all get back in the line. Rather that than cause a big wreck, but here they go off of turn number 2 again. Donathan and Scala looking for the lead again. They're trying it. They got the slight advantage right now over Bounty. Can Donathan clear him?
Oh, he's not clear yet. He's not clear yet. And Scala, does he go back up with him? He does. But he leaves room for Bounty and Welsenbach on the inside. So here comes Bounty and Welsenbach. They're going to have the lead this go around. Neff and Terry, they have another run up through the field.
See, at Talladega, 3 wide is no problem. At Daytona, it's a little bit narrower. 3 wide can happen, but it's too risque, especially this early as we're working lap 41 here.
Wow, watch them bunching up on the outside there. These guys really getting racy. Look at the 40 machine. That's Jason Cardwell with help from the 58 of Stephen Pettit. They've worked their way up into the mix. They're about 6th or 7th on that outside row.
Here comes Donovan back on the high side with a big push to Scala. They're going to push back to the lead, trying to get that lap lead here from Scala. Important lap lead. Can they get it? It looks like they did.
Wow. By a 1,000th of a second.
It's about as close as it gets right there.
Another guy we haven't talked about much this race, Bryant Collins in the 1. He sits about 13th, about 7th on the inside row.
Yep, his first ever truck start here in Noble earlier this week. He made a start in the preseason race for the Dash Series, which gets underway this coming Sunday night. Looking for their 2nd season now, and now being sponsored by SpeedCal, the SpeedCal Dash Series. Go over and check them out at speedcal.com, and it's all kinds of awards and posters and all kinds of memorabilia and stuff you can make right here with all your iRacing stuff.
3 deep. Collins, 40 of Cardwell and Linden. There's still 3 wide going into turn 1. Gonna have to be extremely careful. Chimera, he's right there in the mix, and if I was him, I'd be sweating bullets trying to dodge these bullets.
No, you're absolutely right, man. Wow, is it getting tight. But this is great
Now
to see.
3 wide for the lead. Sorry to cut you off, Andy. Bounty's on the inside. Donathan's in the middle. Scala's up high. And they get it sorted out before turn 4.
They do. I think that was a switch, and there wasn't much room to get the switch done, and I think that's exactly what was going on right there. Rick Donovan been pushing Scala for lap after lap after lap. I think it was just time he needed to get some air to that front end, and here they go. Now he's going to try for the lead. Donovan, he's already led a couple laps here tonight. Now he's going to try to lead some more as they're still side by side heading into turn 1.
Would you just take a look at this pack? What a race we've got going on here at Daytona. 2 by 2 by 2 by 2.
And this is 10 laps into a run when typically in the past with these draft packages, we've been seeing these tandems just get away, but these trucks are obviously getting too hot for them to stay nose to tail for any long period of time.
Certainly making it for a good race.
So here we go at the stripe. Looks like Donovan's going to get this lap led right here. Not enough to clear the two of them past Welzenbach and Bounty. Bounty still hanging tough on that bottom side, holding that yellow line.
So things starting to settle down just briefly. There'll be 2 and 3 wide again here shortly. Scala and Donathan clear the Bounty and Welzenbach duo. So do Neff and Terry. Terry can pull down if he wants to, and he does just that.
I'll tell you, watch out for those two guys here tonight, man. Just since they've been able to hook up, they've been staying right up front there. Now they want a piece of the action here to get this lead away from Rick Donovan. Brian Terry, a long time. He's just got the most career starts than anybody at Noble in any of their series with over 225 starts, Ben. So he's been around the block a few times. Single file, now the top 5, now single file back for 6th place. The battle side by side. That's the 40 of Cardwell. Up, he gets blocked there by Bounty. Now Bounty's going to slow up their progression. Is he going to drop back down in front of Welzenbach, or is he going to stay up there? Looks like Bounty, he wants to go back to the lead here. He doesn't like being in traffic.
And he's going pretty quickly on the outside. Everybody's separated. Watch Neff, he pulls up to the outside. They're going to go 3 wide, almost. No, they stick it 2 wide. Scala goes on the block. 3 wide for the lead on the backstretch. Bounty's on the outside. Scala in the middle. Donathan way down low. There's still 3 wide here at Daytona.
3 wide. Cardwell now pinching down on the 8. Not going to happen. Now he's going to get stuck on the outside. We got trouble in the back. Doug Blackman was part of that action.
Mylan Lacey runs up on Brunel and turns him head first into the outside wall. Brunel goes upside down in a vicious crash. And Blackman, a hard hit to the outside. His truck severely damaged. Lacey, his truck's got quite a bit of damage on it. So a very, very bad break for those guys at the back of the pack. And now we've tied our caution record at 2.
Yeah, it looked like the trucks in front of them just kind of slowed up. Somebody checked up somewhere there, Ben, and it looks like that's just an accordion effect, and we talked about not being able to see too far ahead of you in front of those other cars, so maybe a lack of communication there with the line checking them.
So the drivers head down to pit road. Andy, our pole sitter tonight, Sean Boundy, he's not going to like this fact. 4 out of the last 5 races, the pole sitter has finished worse than 8th at the end of the race.
Wow. Yeah, that's definitely a fact you don't want to hear. Look at this race off pit road. Rick Donovan wins him out. Oh, no, excuse me, Bounty. He was way up ahead of him.
That's 4 out of 5, and it finished worse than 8th. There was one other race where the pole sitter won, and that was Rodney Kramer.
Well, that was a long time ago, wasn't it, Ben?
Certainly was. So, odds aren't in Boundy's favor, but he is looking to turn that around. That statistic around tonight.
Statistic.
Yeah, I'm not even going to try it again.
I want to see, one other one. I wish we could be able to tell. I don't know if we'd probably have to go review tapes on this one, but the guy leading the white flag, is he actually the guy that wins the race? I want to see how many of those are true. Because we know the last time we were here wasn't the case.
I think that's the only time that the driver that was not leading on the white flag actually went on to win the race.
Really?
Yep. I do believe the other 4 times they were either leading with 3 or 2 to go. So that's another thing to watch out for tonight. Under caution for the second time, and working lap 50 will restart with less than 25 to go. You're watching the Sim Racing Network.
These are pictures of natural and man-made disasters in the past few years. Many of these people and their animals have not only lost everything, but are lost in the areas from devastation. The media is not as present as it used to be. The frequency of disasters escalates through the world. Until these slow-recovering areas can be rebuilt, people will be reliant on our ability to supply their needs. DoYourPart.org is a disaster response organization dedicated to assisting people and animals in times of distress. Our volunteers reach out to support most, the vulnerable, underserved, underinsured, or without insurance. DoYourPart.org strives to bring these amazing survivors back to sustainability and keep their hopes and dreams alive. However, we cannot help these people alone. We can help a little more if you help do your part. See how you can help. Visit our website and donate now. DoYourPart.org.
He takes a lead, but now Wyatt Wolf's to the inside. He pushes up a little bit. They're side by side. Elliott with the lead off of turn 2.
And then off of turn 4. Dave Elliott, are you kidding me? He wins here in Charlotte. I taught Tenny. God, my goodness. Taught Tenny.
You all right, man?
I'm done.
I think he taught Kenny Baum Jr.
Oh, dear.
We're back here at Daytona International Speedway with the DoYourPart.org Truck Series live right here on the Sim Racing Network. We'll restart with 24 laps to go. Depending on where you are in the draft and how much you've saved under this caution, you might not make it to the end of this race, Andy.
It's going to be close. I saw a few guys during this last couple of laps of pacing while we were at commercial, shutting their trucks off, coasting a bit. So it's definitely going to be real close. Depends on how well they draft here, if they're going to be the leader of the group or if they're going to be in the back drafting off somebody else. But it's going to be awfully close for these guys to make it if this thing stays green the whole way.
All right, so here we go. It'll be 24 laps to go. Andy, you have your speakers turned up?
Oh, they are cranking.
I hope you do the same at home. We want you to feel the rattling that these guys are feeling inside the trucks and the fans are feeling at the track. 24 laps to go. It is getting down to crunch time here in the FedEx 400 benefiting Autism Speaks. They stack them up 2 by 2. The green flag's in the air. Let's go full throttle on SRN. Rick Donathan and Chris Scala have had the biggest lead we've seen all night, but Sean Bounty and Brian Neff are starting to reel them in. Meanwhile, they've got a snarling pack of 2 by 2 behind them.
That they do. That's quite some battle right now as we see Hartman on the inside lane, Welsenbach and Orth trying to make things happen on the outside lane. That's the battle for 5th right now. Right now, give it to Welsenbach and Orth as they power their way up and ahead of William Hartman. Now they're going to clear him as they head back into turn number 1.
And Welsenbach and Orth aren't done. They want more. They want more. They want the lead, and they're going to try and get it on the backstretch. Welsenbach, they clear Bounty. They clear Scala. One more truck to go until they've got the lead. And here comes Hartman and Tizzato following them. Look at Libby and Loper. They're coming into the mix as well.
That high line's really big. Man, they've been really fast up there on that high side all night long. As Orth now breaks apart from Welsenbach to get a little air to that front nose right there after those guys just came from about 8th position and pushed their way up to the lead. Now the outside's heating up even more. Here comes Terzato. He's pushing Hartman. They want the lead.
High side's a place to be. It looks like tonight at Daytona. John Mushton Jr. is back on a lead lap, and he's being pushed by the 13 of Daniel Eberhardt. And he's trying to make his way back up into the mix for possibly the win.
That's some story right there, getting in trouble early on with Stephanie Burnell. Stephanie Burnell had too much damage. He's pulled it behind the wall for the evening. But here comes Mushton. He's still in it to win it.
Bryant Collins, Peter Canale on the inside line there. These guys got a shot at winning. It was interesting, first lap or so of that run, 2 tandems got out front, and now here we are about 4 or 5 laps into the run, and we're all jumbled up again.
That we are, and the laps are winding down right now. About 20 to go here, Ben. As they come around again, it'll be 19 to go. But yeah, what a awesome racing I think we've seen here. I think they finally got this rules package right where it needs to be to have ourselves some fantastic racing here. So we're still side by side for the lead as they head back into turn 3.
Ooh, watch Mushton back behind. That was close. It still is. Mushton and Loper side by side. They make a little contact. They go 3 wide. Look out. That's not going to work to the tri-oval. They split up, Loper and Libby. Eberhardt's pushing Mushton. Inside line checks up. And we make it through clean somehow.
Oh my, I need my inhaler.
You kidding me? Oh my. Terzado and Hartman, they go to the lead. Boundy leaves Libby out to dry. Mushton gives him a shot. He almost spins him on the backstretch. They split him and go 3 wide to the outside.
Libby's going to be the one right there thanking Bounty for leaving him out to dry. He's going to be able to get back in the line now. Loper, who's been helping him all race long, is now going to be on him. Oh my gosh, here comes the 13 and the 67. From last place, the 67 of Mushton Jr. getting spun. They fixed the damage. Now he's looking for the lead heading into 1.
1 lap down, didn't get a caution for his incident, and he's got the lead. Give it to him down in turn 1. He might have it fully in turn 2. The tandem's trying to get it on the backstretch.
What a great run by those guys on the outside. We've seen it all night long. That outside lane, get hooked up, and take them about 1 lap, and they can be from about 10th place all the way up to the lead.
Eberhardt, look out. Internet problems for the 13. This is going to get interesting. Here comes Libby through the middle. Loper is going to get it. Mushton's not going to lead the lap. Libby leads the lap. Holy cow.
Unbelievable. Some more technical issues for the 13 there, and he ends up ultimately leaving his guy out to dry as Mushton wasn't able to lead that lap.
What a race this is shook up to be.
Now see how we're strung out here, Ben? Lap 59. I bet you it won't be long, and these guys can be all backed up into a pack again.
I give him the lap 60.
There you go.
Watch the 2 up front. Loper gets sideways in turn 4.
Excellent job of hanging on to that thing and staying in the gas, and they're pulling away.
Oh my goodness.
Watch this highlight. Here comes the 15 and the 8 now from about 8 to 10 spot. Oh, they had to check up because of the 13. Oh my, I thought they were going to go 3 wide again. They had such a run coming through the center.
I don't think this is going to end pretty. 15 laps to go. This time by. Hopkins and Como, 44 and 28. They've lost the draft. That's big news for the championship. Scala and Donathan working to the outside of the 13, who's running the middle line. Look out, he's going to put him in the wall almost off turn 4. Eberhardt really getting risky up at the front.
Now they're all fanning out. Now
Trouble!
they're all touching trouble.
Hartman goes around. Terzado and Scala are involved, and a caution comes out. 3 trucks in what could have been 30.
I'll tell you who's breathing real hard right now is that 15 of Rick Donovan. He was on the bumper of Scala when all that happened, and man, did he luck out on that one.
Oh my goodness. And that was Terzado. That was Eberhardt getting into the bumper of Terzado and pushing him in to the 07 of Hartman. Mushton almost got turned in to the outside wall. Had that happened, that crash would have been a whole lot bigger than it was. And those guys, look how close they were to missing that inside wall, Andy, and not having that much damage. They caught just the rear end of it. Oh my goodness. So, we've broke the caution record, and now we get to catch our breaths, as does everybody else all the drivers. Big break for Como and Hopkins. 44 and 28. They've lost the draft. They're going to be back in the mix.
I think you're going to see everybody on pit road. It was going to be close on fuel. Now I believe everybody's going to come down, top it off, and it's going to be a shootout.
Should get the green flag with about 9 or 10 laps to go. And we're just going to set them loose.
We broke a record, man.
Broke a record. Not sure how many lead changes we've had tonight, but I'm pretty sure we have probably broke that record as well. If IRTVO would cooperate, as well as iRacing, we might have that info for you guys, but
oh
of
my,
course,
some guys staying out.
Not able to. Libby Loper head down. Jonathan, Neff, Hartman, and it's mixed emotions as far as pit strategy.
Yeah, Mushton, Terry, Bounty, they all stay out.
Mushton's got the lead. And
It's like Welsenbach stayed out.
Mushton does grab that lap. Welsenbach, Cardwell, Orth, Collins, Kreiser, Pettit, Hopkins, Como, Lacey, and then everybody else has pitted. Well, Andy, you're sitting behind the wheel of the number 27 machine, knowing that you're 6 points out of the lead heading into tonight, knowing that this restart is going to be chaotic, knowing that the points leader is way back, scored last time at the line 16th. What do?
You got to do what you've been doing all race long. Stay out of trouble, stay up front as close as you can. Obviously, when it comes down to the end, unless you got a true friend or a true partner, it's going to be every man for himself. So you're just going to have to use your head, play it smart, pick the line, and just stay with it, and just hope for the best. Hopefully you come out when the smoke clears and you end up ahead of the guy you're racing for that championship.
Ten races this season, 9 different winners. Top 5 drivers have not won a race so far. I think we could see 10 different winners this season, possibly even 11 with a new one next week at Michigan.
Anything is possible. I thought we were going to go the whole season 12 for 12, but Orth decided against that one.
Orth, of course, picking up the win at Phoenix in Kansas. Herlo grabbed the win earlier in the first race, and it was Shiflett at Talladega. He's absent tonight. He's real good on the restrictor plates. Eberhardt got it at Chicagoland. Donathan at Iowa. Camara back at Vegas. Linden at Richmond. Then Orth at Phoenix. Hopkins at Atlanta. Orth again at Kansas. And last week it was Ryan Libby at New Hampshire. And Ryan Libby, let's talk about him. He's going to be starting, looks outside of the top 10. And he and Loper have, I think, been possibly the tango to beat here tonight. That's just me, though. There's been so many great hookups here this evening. It was Terry and Neff at one point, Bounty and Orth. Now Bounty and Welsenbach are together. Kreiser and Lacey was together at one time. Como and Hopkins, they're still back there. Dawes and Scala. Kramer and Linden. Just a bunch of stuff going to be happening in these final remaining laps. It's 11 to go at the line this time. And they turn the lights off atop the iRacing.com Ford Mustang pace car, which means we'll have a 10-lap shootout to the finish So, Andy, have you caught your breath? Because I don't think we're going to be able to breathe within the next 10 miles. Excuse me, 25 miles, 10 laps.
Absolutely right, Ben. And just took a big swig of water. And I'm ready to go.
Is that all?
Well, I think it was water. It was clear.
Let's look at another fact before we get set to go green, and we're not sure who has led the most laps, but 3 out of the 5 races, out of the last 5 races, 3 out of the last 5 races, the driver that led the most laps went on to win here at Daytona. And one more before we go back green. This is no driver that has won at Daytona has went on to win the championship in the same season. So for Orth, that's a little sketchy, as well as it is for Hopkins and possibly even Camara, as these guys get set to set them loose with 10 laps to go. What you think, Andy? I'll let you take the restart.
Well, Ben, this is it. This is what it all comes down to. And the pace car now looks down low. Green flag is in the air. Mushkin trying to get the lead. He's getting a good push by Bounty on that low side. Here, Wilson back. He's trying to get to the bumper of Terry. He doesn't want to let him out of sight as we got battling hard as they head back into turn number 1.
I think you just got to go with who's ever in front of you in these final 10 laps. Not a bunch of time to get with your partner. Not a bunch of time to make a bunch of moves. Mushkin leads us off turn number 2. He's got a little bit of right rear damage. I don't think it's going to slow him down, though. Terry and Welzenbach on the outside. The 40 of Cardwell and Orth are hooked up. They're looking to come on the outside as well.
They are. No help on the bottom line right now. It looks like everybody's stacked up on that high side. Now Orth drops down to the bottom. He's going to get now behind Bounty as Cardwell now stays on the high side. Welzenbach looking low. He gets into Terry. We got a big one here in the front stretch.
Dave Camara involved. All the points contenders involved. Everybody is involved. Are you kidding me? Orth smoking. Will he be able to make it around to the pit road? Hopkins severely damaged in the 44. The big one here at Daytona. Woo! That was Welzenbach in the 29, tried to go back to the outside lane, and Terry was there. Terry got turned, then turned Bounty right into the outside wall. Bounty had nothing to do there, but just go into the wall. Bounty got airborne, and just a very, very vicious crash here in the closing laps of this one. So, this is, oh man, this has really changed the face of this race. We've said anything can happen. Now, a bunch of these guys did have resets, so they get lucky there. Rick Donathan is one of those guys. Hartman has used his reset. Scala looks like he's going to be damaged still. Eberhardt looks good. Linden has some damage. Como looks good. Loper was able to avoid it, as well as Libby, Collins, The 40 of Cardwell has a little bit of damage. Mushkin has the right rear damage that he suffered a couple of laps ago. He's leading. Neff looks to be okay. Welzenbach looks to be okay. Tyler Herr, haven't talked about him, looks to be fine. Boundy, a new truck. And Zach Kreiser, who was involved with the incident with Mylan Lacey earlier in the race. That truck is shortened about 3 or 4 feet.
And that's not good.
That is not good. Maybe if it was intentional and more aerodynamic, it might be, but not looking so pretty for the number 4 machine. Last defending winner of this race. One of the only 2 defending winners in the race tonight. Brian Terry, the other winner of this race. He is currently on pit road. Excuse me, he's out on the speedway. Andy, let's see if we can't dial up a driver in these last couple of laps. And let's see if we can't get somebody dialed up on our radio here. Our radio is about 7 years old. It wasn't in the budget. We used all of our budget for Andy's World. But it still works. Let's see if we can't dial up the number 67, John Mushkin Jr. Ben Kilcrease in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, Tim Ford. How you guys doing?
Oh boy, I think we need to ask you the same thing. How are you doing out front and in front of all this madness?
I am about as nervous as a hooker in church.
Interesting. Well, this is Andy up here at the booth too. Had some trouble early, got in a little spin in the backstretch with the 79 truck, went down the lap, got your lap back on the Lucky Dog later on, battled your way up front with a couple different guys giving you the push. Now you're here. Now, what's the key going to be to stay up front?
Honestly, Andy, I don't have any more friends. My teammates have unfortunately been caught up in other wrecks and stuff, so my key to not losing this race is just to keep the truck clean, try and keep the low line if I can, try to break up those guys drafting when they come on the outside. But I just want to finish clean, man, and get a good, nice finish tonight. But you know how it is with these trucks. It's run what you brung. So we're going to roll the dice and see what happens.
Thank you for talking with us, John. If you ended up in victory lane tonight, I'm going to expect that you'll take me out for some fried Oreos.
Oh, yes, sir. I've got a couple of them right here next to me. Thank you very much.
Oh,
hey, there better be some for me.
Oh, those things are amazing. Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Y'all have a good evening.
Thank you very much, John. John Mushkin Jr.
Fried Oreos. Nobody told me about those, Ben. What are you guys doing holding out on me here?
It's a Southern thing.
Southern?
He's over in Louisiana.
I don't care. Fried Oreos. Anybody eat them.
I guess so. Look at Bryant Collins. Let's get off the food. I'm getting a little hungry. Bryant Collins. First race here in the Truck Series. Sits second on a restart with 5 laps to go. What a race he has had tonight.
Oh, absolutely. And we've seen numerous times. We've seen first-time racers get their first win, Ben. It's not an uncommon thing here at Noble.
Top 10 before we go green. Mushkin, Collins, Libby, Loper, Como, Lacey, Everhart, Linden, Hartman, and Terzato. Now Lacey has severe damage. He's going to be slow on the outside lane. We'll have to watch out. We're racing to either the caution flag or the checkered flag. Hopefully we'll see the checkered. The field stacks them up. 2 by 2 by 2. The pace car hits pit road, and we're racing with 5 laps to go at Daytona.
Bottom line gets the advantage on the restart there. Looked like the one car, I don't know if he slipped the tires or not. But here we go on the bottom side. Mushkin Jr. has got the lead. Libby's going to get on his bumper. Como's going to now get there. Is there 3 wide? Back
they crash.
We got a caution.
That's it. It's over. Give it to Mushkin. What a race. Oh, the caution is out. If we get lucky, we can get a one-lap shootout, but I don't think that's going to happen due to iRacing not having green-white checkers. But thank friggin' God we have moving cars outside of the speedway.
Have you seen any yet, Ben?
Sadly. So, what was shaping up to be a good race turns to a not-so-good ending in a matter of a turn here at Daytona. Have to get the 2 to go signal this time by, and I don't think that's going to be the case. Although we will wait. Four cautions tonight. That'll break the record by 2. And we'll get 3 to go at the line.